P.B. Scott Pre-Library Board meeting to order. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Do you have any correspondence you'd like to share with us?
Not today.
Not today, and public comment, doesn't look like it. Your pleasure on the minutes of our regular meeting on February 19th.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the meeting minutes of February 19th. Any discussion? Any questions? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. How about your pleasure on the vouchers for February?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the vouchers for February for last month. Any questions or comments on that? I didn't notice anything that seemed like it was out of order. That doesn't mean much.
I just have one question. So I see that the Woodson Art Museum is on our voucher list. Are we continuing partnerships with them in some fashion? And if so, what exactly are we doing with them?
Start with art.
Ah, great.
They were just here. They were just here.
Yes,
Yep.
once a month.
Once a month, yep.
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 Any other discussion? Any other questions or comments?
Nope.
All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. Unaudited monthly income and expense report. Looks like your appearance budget is relatively close. Entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the unaudited monthly income and expense report. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. Monthly statistical report.
I don't want to talk about them this month. The DVDs did really well.
It's,
No wonder it was snowing.
It was minus 23 degrees, but the DVDs did really well.
That's what it was, -8.
Although, I guess I would like to just point out that although it wasn't a great month, especially in comparison with the previous year, interestingly enough, the category that did just about the best was adult fiction, besides DVDs. It almost broke even, and that's highly unusual. Usually it's like youth fiction and stuff like that. So I'm not sure there's much we can make of any of these patterns at this point, except that, well, you know, guys are hanging in there.
any other questions or comments? Did we get a motion?
No, we did not.
Get a motion?
Sorry.
Okay. Motion made and seconded to approve the monthly statistical report. Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. Review the equipment and technology items policy. I'll entertain a motion to approve a pretty minimum. Barbara will make the motion. Motion made and seconded to approve the adjusted loaning equipment and technology, loaning of equipment and technology. Any discussion?
So Lori, does this just mean that every item that is in the Library of Things is going to require this? Like, are you just making it standard?
Yep.
So it's everything or nothing?
Yep.
And this is an everything case?
It's an everything case. Just, I mean, it simplifies the process at circulation.
That's what I figured,
Yep.
and it
It's
just,
just-
but it doesn't eliminate the waiver. It's
Right.
just that now everything gets
Yep.
the same way. Got it, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Oh, now we're gonna smoke again, huh?
No, we're not.
How about that? I'll entertain a motion on that.
I'll make that motion.
Non-smoking.
I'll second.
You got a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any discussion? All in favor of approving the old smoking policy, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is renewed. Temporary card holder policy, this is it. And just, what do we do with,
Make a motion to approve?
This is kind of a
Okay,
duplicate,
yep,
huh?
yeah, well, that's good.
Second.
Second, okay.
any, yeah, you get most, okay.
Yep.
Any discussion? I mean,
It's for individuals that basically visit the area,
yeah,
you know, for a short period of time. There was this alternative at the bottom that WBLS strongly suggested we remove. So not, you know, letting anyone visiting, letting, you know, person use a relative's card, you know, no. So that is why that was removed, so.
any other discussion? All in favor of the revised temporary cardholder policy, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Zander Trust. I think basically the trust agreement says what we've been doing since 2009.
Pretty much. Yeah. You need a motion?
And we'll need
Yeah.
a motion to approve it.
Yep, go ahead.
I feel like I'm hogging the motions.
No,
You
no,
love
okay,
to
you're
hog
fine.
the motions. I'll make the motion.
Okay. Second with Brian. All right.
Any discussion?
This is
Yes.
brilliant.
Yes, Barb.
I got lost, I think, in the legalese, because it was confusing to me that at some points, the endowment fund committee was the trustee, but the members of the endowment fund committee are trustees. It's like it's a group versus individuals. So when I would read through, for example, I guess my one question was under 7.1A. It says throughout this that there has to be more, it has to be a majority decision. But under 7.1A on page 5, when they're talking about trustee bad behavior or reckless behavior, if it's the committee, I don't know what you do about it, but if it's individuals, how would a breach of trust be determined? Because in the next line, they say, no trustee shall have any fiduciary responsibility to observe, monitor, evaluate the actions of any other trustee, and shall not be liable. So sort of like, I get it, but I don't know how you would ever determine if someone were like buying a home in Cuba or someplace with the trustee money, because it just sort of says only in cases of.
Yeah, I could, the president, you know, of the board can dismiss them.
Right.
So
It was
yeah, oh, I agree.
confusing to me.
But, you know, that,
Because
my answer was, when I read it over, was that it's gonna be kind of null and void because there's just two on the, you know, on the committee, or you might say. And then the board president can appoint or refuse, you know, so I don't know how we would ever use some of the other, and there's other ones in here too. I
Right.
don't know how we would ever use them in our cases, except that this is standard stuff according to the law that you should include.
Okay,
Yeah.
it just seemed strange to me that
Oh,
in
yeah.
other parts, they talk about, you know, you're not held liable if you're doing things in good faith and somehow there's a mess or money is lost or something.
Yeah.
But that just sort of struck me as,
Do you want me to question the attorney on it?
well, not necessarily if the committee likes it, but I just didn't know how one would institute any kind of, any saying, gee, we're really, really worried that this person has made
That
these
Mike is buying a
decisions.
house in Cuba.
Yeah, or in Florida before it sinks, or, you know, whatever, but.
He could have been this entire time because it's in his name.
Right, he's
Yeah.
he's not the
No,
trustee,
and
he's
that's not
endowment
the
committee
problem,
is.
but it just seems strange to me because it's a great thing. I just don't know how anyone would implement it or show concern for it, that's all.
That just like up on F, just above that, a trustee may irrevocably release one or more powers held by the trustee while retaining other powers.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Solid.
You know, I mean, how would you implement that?
Yeah,
Or how would you interpret it, I should say, so.
Well, I think part of the funny thing here is that the committee is treated much like a corporation. It's
Right.
treated as an individual.
Yeah.
And so, so when it says the trustee may irrevocably designate powers, the trustee is not a trustee, it's both of them. And the circularity part, you know, it's sort of like the separation of powers in the Constitution that says you have some judicial review. You're not a trustee, but you have sole discretion to say, you know, Barbara, I've been seeing that your phone calls are coming to us from Aruba. And I think that maybe you're, you know, and so, you know, as an example, not an
Maybe
actual
there's-
case. And so there is that weird
Money.
circularity
Yeah.
to it, I think,
Yeah.
is the issue. And that is, as you say, kind of how we've been operating.
yeah, and it's fine, it just,
Yeah,
It is
it
weird.
just kind of was weird to me how anyone would make sense of it.
Quagmire of
yeah.
legalese.
I expected about a 2-page agreement, trust.
And even under 6.3, I don't have any problem with it, but the wording, in no event shall any trustee
Mhm.
hereunder be liable for any matter with respect to which he, she, or it.
Yeah.
And I thought, it. I don't know if any of us are,
Yes.
the committee isn't it,
Right.
Right.
but the person, I would assume the persons would be one or something. So, that was just my,
Have we got a
I wanted you to know I
We
read
do.
it.
Okay, any other discussion?
If we had an attorney here, they would be telling us all of the legal jargon, why are we using those terms
Oh, I know.
specifically to cover all the different bases and all the scenarios
Yeah.
that come up.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what
There's
it
a
is.
reason
Well,
that
no,
they're there.
there's, no, there's a reason
No,
why
it's
it's there.
all-
I mean, it worked for
And
attorneys.
if we were going down that path, I'd be
Yeah.
confident that we would be able to consult an
Yeah.
attorney. Like,
Yeah.
okay, what are we doing this?
Oh, yeah, you got it covered because it's in here type thing, 'cause, yeah,
And then there'll be like reference this
Yeah.
on the.
yeah.
Who is the library's legal person? Who do you go to?
City attorney.
The city,
Scott
yeah,
City attorney?
yeah.
But he normally delegates it to
Yeah,
That'll
somebody
change
else.
after.
Yeah.
Okay.
After June.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know what's gonna happen.
yeah, still not, yeah, still no idea.
Have they replaced them or
No, no, we don't know yet.
You know, they're looking at outside
outside stuff like?
versus
Yeah.
keeping it in person.
I think that's the way it was back 50 years ago, right?
We
Yeah,
we
it
actually
was.
do have we have two applications out there, one for internal, like Tom is right now, and one for an outside legal counsel, just to see
Yeah,
what
but I
comes
think,
back.
I think 50 years ago when I came to town, I think it was.
It was,
Outside.
yeah, yeah, it was,
Attorney, this-
yeah.
But for the purposes of recording, can you identify yourself?
Yeah, Nathan Meyer.
Thank you. Since you're behind
Thank
the
you.
camera.
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
The attorney.
So with your approval, I'll call and have them finalize, or prepare the final report, and then we can sign it before the next meeting. If that's what you're approving.
Sure.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, it is approved. Thanks, everybody, because it's something that we should have in writing.
And then once
The annual report, pardon?
once it's done, to get it to Emily.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And once it's done, we need to pay the bill too,
That too,
Details.
that too.
which we don't have.
Yeah.
Okay, next item is our annual report. That's this right here.
And just a report, this is what will go out to the public.
Oh, kind of back on the other one. Do we need to get Tom involved in this at all? Hayden?
No.
In our trust? I mean, he
No.
kind of washed his hands
Yeah.
the last time he was here.
Yep, yep, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then anybody got any questions or comments? I'll look at it and I'll bring all my questions back next month.
Yeah. This is kind of what it looks like. More, more for people, the visual aspect of things. People like to see what we do. We will have a digital version of it. We're considering actually adding a link to it to all of the images that the library takes throughout the year that people can view if they so choose. So, but this is the paper format that people.
You need any,
Nope, just nope.
our goal number 5? comments or questions on that? And the Wisconsin trustee, essential of the freedom of expression inquiry, I think we, any questions or comments? How about our director's report?
All right. As I mentioned, we got spring break coming up. We were hoping to utilize the room a little bit more. We're gonna try. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. We are in the midst of working on our digital literacy skills workshop, and we are working on collaboration with MAPS and Merrill Police Department for that. We have one scheduled the end of May, and hoping to provide childcare at that particular event involving parents. And the purpose for involving the police department is just so people are aware that they're a resource for them, and if they have issues, they're there for them to help. Just to have that awareness. And they were open to that. So I'm kind of excited about that piece of that process. Board member appointment for Lincoln County resident, that has to go through a process. So at the May meeting, they will, they have the person that is ours will be putting in or submitting their official resignation, and then they have to go through the process of contacting the county, then from the county, and we can make a recommendation to the county. We have someone in mind. Kate Morris is a regular patron here at the library, and she has agreed to step in. This particular position on the WVLS board ends in December. However, Kate has indicated that she would be willing to step in to a longer phase of it, so I'm excited about that. I know Kate personally. She was one of my teachers in high school. So, yes. So I'm excited about that a lot. And then I have some information about their last meetings. Friends of the Library, they just met. They have not yet decided on when the book sale will take place. They're figuring the end of April, first part of May. The individual, as I indicated, is Sarah Litzer, and she helps with tax returns and stuff like that, so she's got that to worry about for the time being. They received a substantial amount of money in memory of Judy Weaver. We've done a couple of things. They purchased that new podium there. This one tips over quite quickly, so we got one that's a little more sturdy, and then that'll have a plaque on it indicating that it's in her memory. They are also working with putting a large concrete planter out on what is now the kind of a concrete patio area out in the front, and that will be filled with flowers. We have an individual that volunteers to do that for us, putting in the flowers. We just pay for them, she plants them, so we'll just add that to make the outside look really nice. We're excited about that. Renovation project update, it's all in here. We're just kind of waiting. It's a waiting game, and that's how it happens with construction. But I'll tell you, I've been pleased working with JAS Construction. They have, anytime I've had a question, they've been available. They've answered quickly. They've done their work to get the answers for us. So I've been pleased with that part of the project. I also mentioned now Kay Andrews will be retiring mid-April. We currently have that position posted. As of today, we already had, and we just posted that on Friday. We do have two fairly good applicants, part-time applicants. So that's promising, very promising.
Inside or out?
Outside.
Outside?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's see. Few of us got our CPR recertification, and as part of that, we are all familiar with how to operate an AED machine. We have the one that is down here on the first floor, which is in need of replacement. It is functional, but in talking with TJ, he indicated it's something that we should take a look at. I kind of, after Chris made a comment to me the other day about the Merrill Community Foundation, I will most likely go to them for that piece to see if that's something that they would entertain supporting. But in the meantime, we purchased a new one that will be mounted on the 3rd floor near the elevator. I felt that since that was the Adult Services Department, that it was probably a good place to have one, because time is of the essence when you need one of those. And Aspirus was graciously funded that for us. So it's sitting on the counter and it just needs to be mounted. And I've been reading through the material, oh my goodness. At least it'll just tell you what buttons to push, so I can do it. And then the RFID project, we had a meeting yesterday. We will start doing some tagging in the building on some of the materials as they come in, some of the new materials, some of the materials as they are returned. It is a process that we can start doing once they have the station here. We can get one in advance of the actual large project, which will take place in the fall. And they totally understood that. The individual that we met with has been a part of library systems, understands summer reading programs with youth and how doing something like that during the summer would be just horrendous. So they understood the idea of holding off until fall for the big project itself. They talked about it's a two-team type operation. You have someone pulling off the books, the other person's tagging, and you can do anywhere from 300 to 400 adult books in an hour. Of course, the Youth Services Department, it takes a little bit longer because books are all shapes and sizes, and so that just takes, it's a little bit more tedious. But that is, it's happening. Yeah. So questions?
One quick question.
Yes.
About WVLS.
Yes.
In the WVLS report, Walco and Wausau, it's, assume it closed.
Yeah.
And is that affecting delivery services, courier? What's the
So
adjustment
they
there?
hired, so yeah, they closed, so Purple Mountain, yeah, yeah, Purple Mountain is the company that WVLS has hired. It is going, I mean, all things considered, it is going okay. We've had some hiccups along the way as new processes do, but we've been okay.
And do you have any idea, like, is that a probationary contract with WVLS, or did they sign like a multi-year? How stable is that?
The Purple Mountain,
Yeah.
it started, I think it started out as probationary, if I understand correctly. It's a probationary thing, and they'll give them a certain amount of, like, 6 months, I believe, and then they'll revisit and then go from there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent, thank you.
Any other questions for her? Thank you. Any other items you brought up before this meeting? Other than a motion to adjourn?
I'm not making that one.
Okay.
I'm not even seconding it.
Motion.
Sorry, let's get out of here.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.